Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, and welcome back to another video with your host Andrew. Today, you join me for a review of not a pen, but a couple of pen cases. And as you can see from the upcoming unboxing of this, these are very special. And it comes from a lady by the name of Yurie, and she is based in Japan. So let's unbox this and see what we have. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be slightly different in that we're not going to be looking at pens specifically, but accessories for pens. It's not something which is generally covered a lot, and I thought it would be quite fun just to do something a little bit different. So we've got these beautiful, beautiful pen pouches here right from Yurie, and I've got a couple of pens in here. And so let's go over to the table. I'll give you a bit of background information about her and why I bought these pouches in the first place, and then I'll go over the parts and features and then give you some thoughts on the pen cases themselves. So let's go over to the table. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we've got these beautiful pen pouches here. Now I have to say right from the get-go that the presentation for these pen pouches is just absolutely superb, ranging from the beautiful little knotted designs we have here on the actual sleeves. We get a lovely little envelope, and if you have a look inside, if I don't drop everything, oh, let's get that, there we go. So we get a nice little business card, which has got a nice floral design on here. Fantastic. We get a nice letter, which says, "Dear Andrew, a woven fabric, 100% silk, whose colours changes depending on the angle of light." Well, that is absolutely true. I hopefully you can see that. So, yeah, beautiful. And then it goes on to say that I will send you Japanese cherry blossoms. Well, we'd been having conversations prior to actually purchasing, and I expressed my love for cherry blossoms. So we've got 3 very beautiful postcards here. Fantastic. And I then opted for these 2 pen cases. Now, before I go on too much, I just thought I'd give you a little bit of background information about Yurie. So Yurie is a wonderful, wonderful lady based out of Tokyo, Japan, and she's been making pen cases since 2012, from what I can decipher. And prior to that, I believe she had trained to become a dentist, of all things. And then she got into doing decorations of all sorts, and now she's doing, well, beautiful pen cases. And the materials which she's opted to use are traditional Japanese silks. And do forgive my pronunciation on this, but I believe she uses Ashima Sumugi, Yuzin, Nishijin, and these are different weaves of cloths. And she also uses silks from kimonos and other vintage clothes as well. So she uses quite a lot of different textiles. Now the threading around here, I may be incorrect, but I'm having to translate from Japanese. I believe these are wajima balls here. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah. So I believe these are wajima balls, and it's actually a wajima nuri, which is the actual braiding on the actual cloth here. So very, very interesting. And she really does tap into quite a lot of Japanese techniques in terms of actually producing these, not only just from the actual cloths, but also to the techniques of actually presenting. So despite having unboxed these before, what we're going to do is I'm just going to take the actual outer sleeve off, and then I'm going to open up the box and show you on the inside, because I think this is actually something which is really underrated, and this is silk paper. Yeah, you heard that right, silk paper. So it uses the fibres of silk to make this really, really beautiful, delicate paper. And when you find your pen, you'll find it sort of living in like this. And it comes with a nice insert as well, just to keep it nice and padded. Absolutely beautiful, really, really stunning. I have to say I'm very, very impressed with the actual presentation for these pen pouches. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put up some dimensions for these pen pouches. Fantastic. There we go. And both of them are exactly the same in terms of dimensions. So I've opted, like I said, for some plum blossoms, and also for this beautiful sort of leaf design on this one. And I have to say, I love this. This one is probably my favourite out of the two. I love the plum blossoms, I do. But this one I think really calls to me is this something very simple about the design, and I find that when you sort of move it in the light, it does really look absolutely fantastic, as does this one. But yeah. Anyway, so let's have a look and see what we can actually fit in here. So in here, we have got a cheeky little Nakaya. Yeah. Well, that gives you a bit of a hint to what I want to talk to you about next, to why I bought these. So I bought this pen case primarily so that it's going to fit two new pens which are coming up. Now, you may have seen Adventure Denali's recent video, and in that video she demonstrated the use of my new pen, well, one of my new pens at least, and that was a Namiki Yukari herb decoration. So I wanted to get a pen pouch for it, primarily because it doesn't come with one, disappointingly. So yeah, I decided to get one for that, and then I thought, well, even though I like the Nakaya pen pouches, they're not the most padded pen pouches in the world. They're great for shipping the actual pen in, but I probably wouldn't travel around with it. Not to say that they wouldn't actually work, they probably would, but these do offer a little bit of extra padding. So I decided to get one for my upcoming Nakaya. And I think the Nakaya is going to live in this one because it's got a red theme on it. And then the herb decoration is going to go in the plum blossom, in which I have got my Wet n Wise Tamanuri Studios collaboration pen in here. So that's why I purchased them. So let's join me back over on my face, if you can put up with that, and then I'll give you my final thoughts and feelings on these pen cases. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with me so far. So what are my final thoughts and feelings on these very beautiful pen cases? Well, I love them, to be quite brutally honest. I absolutely love them. I love the fact that we get this fantastically beautiful presented product. I think that when you're spending the money on a product such as this, to have something which is beautifully presented certainly goes a long way, in my estimation, for return service. Now, that might seem a little bit weird to have return service just based on the presentation, but to me, presentation is key, to be honest. If you've got a luxury product like this, it needs to be presented nicely. It's as simple as that. Let's talk about the price, because I think for some people this may be something which may put you off. I bought two of these pen cases just because they're so beautiful. They were 7,800 yen each, so that's around about £50. That might seem like a lot of money to some people. To some people it won't. It's just also dependent on your budget and what you can justify spending on a pen pouch. Now, like I said, I have got two very special pens coming, and I wanted something really nice to protect them, and something which can almost complement the actual beauty of those upcoming products. So hence why I actually went for this. In hindsight, having spoken to a friend who is in the process of possibly buying some pen pouches from Yurie, I may have gone for the 3-pen pen pouch instead. and that would have cost about £71. So you're looking around about £100 after import. So you can see definitely the better value proposition for going for maybe a 3-pen pen pouch in comparison to just buying just the one. But let's just talk about the actual production quality of these very quickly. They're simply beautiful, really. They are just absolutely simply beautiful. When you sort of turn this in the light, you get the sort of like the deep purples in here, and sort of almost goes to a brown, to a black, to a grey, and it's just, it's a sight to behold, to be honest. I love silk, and I've always been after the next pen pouch, to be honest. As much as I love pens, I love pen pouches, and I've had quite a few over the year. When I say quite a few, about 4 or 5, I think that's quite a few for collecting pen pouches personally. And I have to say that these are perhaps my, well, current favourite. Now, obviously, I've got like a new shiny object, and quite often you can overreact on new shiny objects, but I honestly, I feel that these are just absolutely fantastic. Now, they are all beautiful, my pen pouches, in their own separate ways. And there are certain things which I would perhaps like from other pen pouches, where perhaps certain aspects of the design are absolutely fantastic, but maybe having a different material would have elevated it. Take my Bocamonte, for example. I really love the fact that you get a little Urushi toggle on it, and it's a really beautiful pen case, but I wish it had this material. This material really is just absolutely top notch. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And if we have a look at the silk inner lining, which I didn't show you in the overview, I'll just take the Nakaya out. Hopefully you can see that. Isn't that just fantastic? You know, you've got this beautiful black inner lining in silk, and again, you get little hints of purple in there as well, and it's just a really nice, simple thing to do, which just elevates the actual pen tremendously. So, absolutely fantastic. Now let's have a look at the cherry blossom, not cherry blossom, plum blossom, sorry. The plum blossom fits a Wet n Wise Comfort. It's a fairly longish pen. Now if I do that in comparison to the Nakaya, that will give you some understanding of what it can fit. As you can see, the Comfort is a bigger pen, so it will fit this pen. Having said that, I would say that this is about the maximum length that you'd comfortably fit in there. Whilst you could actually fit a much longer pen in there and carry it around just like this without wrapping it up, it's not going to fall out, but you may be slightly bothered about the tie. So all you just simply need to do is just tie it around the top and then thread it through a couple of times. Safely secure it, like so. So you can fit a longer pen in there. Aesthetically, maybe not as pleasing to some people. I know aesthetics is paramount for some people. For other people, it might not bother them at all. But you can fit quite a long pen in there, should you wish. Now let's talk about this pen case as well. I love the fact that when you turn this, you see the purples and the blues in the background. I think it looks really, really beautiful. Unfortunately, there's quite a lot of fluff on here, and it does bother me a little bit. Having spoken to Yurie, she has apologised profusely and has, like I said, offered to return it and to give me a refund. I will not do so because I love the pen pouch. And if you just slightly moisten it and then just pat it down, it's not too bad. I may get some textile scissors and just cut off some of the fraying on it, and then I think it will really elevate it. But I love cherry blossoms and I love plum blossoms. I think they are two of my favourite flowers, and that's why I purchased this pen pouch. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. It was a shame that there was a bit of fraying on here, but I wouldn't say that's a fault of Yurie's. I would just say that is a manufacturing fault, potentially. Although she did say that is part of the weave. I don't think it is. I think maybe there might have been some translation issues down the line. So with her being Japanese and with me being English, and certainly English not being her first language. Her English is very good though, and you can certainly communicate well with her in English, but I digress. That was just a little bit of a shame, if I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to be harsh about it, but I would have thought for, you know, this much money, the actual product would have come in a slightly better state. Having said that, I would certainly recommend checking out her work and maybe, you know, ask her what she's got in stock, ask for some close-up pictures and check them out before purchase. I didn't ask for close-ups, but I didn't think I needed to. It's just on this particular material where you've got a slightly different weave, and yeah, it's just a bit of a shame. I still love it. I love the blue, I love the orange. I think it's a wonderful combination. And to finalise, I want to just say thank you so much for these beautiful, beautiful postcards. They are absolutely fantastic, and I might well try and frame them. It comes on some beautiful paper. I've got 3 Japanese manufacturers here, 2 of which I can't read. But we have got some Midori postcards here, which are an international company. So yeah, really, really pleased with the service which I received from Yurie. Very fast shipping, came over from Japan within a week. So yeah, can't complain, to be honest. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for listening. Hopefully next week I will have a special pen to review. Certainly I've got a Sailor Pro Gear blue-green nebula to review. That may be coming in the post today, and if so, that will probably get reviewed and then put into the queue for next week. And then I have got my Nakaya Enjoying the Mooncat, which is due to come, and I've also got my Namiki, which will be shipping very soon. So yeah, if you want to go and check out that Namiki video, go over and have a look at Alicia's or Adventure Denali's YouTube, and I'll put a link into the description below so you can have a look at that if you're still watching at this point in this video. And I shall see you next week. Till then, stay safe and goodbye for now.